Why hasn't Mojang added a chair block? So if you don't know, for the longest time, the Minecraft community has been asking Mojang to add a simple chair block into the game, and for the longest time, Mojang has kind of refused to do so with the explanation that they wanted players to build their own chair or any other furniture really with their imagination and creativity by using existing blocks to help construct builds that closely resembles a furniture. And while this is a fair point, the community is still disappointed by the fact that you cannot really sit on them. The best thing that people can do is just press the shift key and boom, you look like you're sitting. It's got to a point where the community has found some very janky methods to replicate a chair block. They even recently used the new Nautilus mob in a very interesting and very questionable way. Man, we truly have reached the pinnacle of resource creativity and animal cruelty with this one. We have come so far. Now, all of this is done in vanilla Minecraft, but what about modded Minecraft? So that is my goal today. I want to make a mod that adds chairs that players can sit on into Minecraft and hopefully add some special features that could even change how players play the game. So grab a seat, my fellow YouTube viewers, as we try to solve Minecraft's chair problem. I can already feel that people will think that this video is clickbait. But before we actually design the chair block, we need to figure out how to make the player actually sit on a block. Thankfully, there are a few examples that we can reference off of. Riding on entities. Basically, a player has the ability to ride on entities like a minecart or a boat or a horse that some people will call a goat. And whenever a player rides on an entity, the game forces the player to be rendered in a sitting position. Now, unfortunately, because we are trying to make a chair out of a block, not an entity, we cannot force the player to sit on the chair block because, again, it is not an entity. But what if the chair is both? Since the only way to get a player to sit in Minecraft is by getting them to ride on an entity, we can make it so that when the player interacts with a chair block, it spawns a chair entity in the center of it, giving off the illusion that the player is sitting on a block. Okay, so we got the chair block working, so now we can go ahead and start designing it. Now, there are a lot of different chair designs in the world. We got an office chair, a baby chair, a wheelchair, a gaming chair, a sitting chair, a Zinji chair, but we need a design that fits in the overall Minecraft aesthetic. Something simple and yet something that looks like it can be used for different unique things. But I guess while I figure that out, I need to see how tall I should make the chair block. Because if I make the seat part of the chair too low or too high, it will not look too good. So I got my gaming chair here. Yes, I know it's the old-fashioned model, and I also got this measuring tape here to help me see how tall this thing is. So when we measure it, so when we measure it, it's about, what, 45 centimeters? So that's gonna be at least less than a slab block. And now for a consistency check, a bed block in Minecraft is like slightly higher than a slab block, so it should be over 50 centimeters. So when we measure it, my bed is about, let's see, 57 centimeters. So yeah, I think we're on the right track of things. Okay, so now that we got the height of the chair, but we still need to think about the design of the chair. And that's when I realized, what if we just make it look like a slab block? So like, we just do this, and then just do this. And yeah, that's our chair. That way, instead of focusing on making it look like an actual chair, we just simplify it to its seat part so that we can even decorate it later on however we or the players want. And if you're wondering, yes, I based the texture of the vanilla Minecraft bed. Am I just being lazy? Yes. Now, I already got the chair completed with the design and all, but if I want to make this an actually decent mod/video, I gotta give this thing a little bit more features. So here's the plan. I want to give players the option to make their own chairs with different colors. Now, personally, I don't want to use $Kai for my chair's crafting recipe. It feels kind of repetitive. So what if we use something different? So instead of using dyes to make our colored chairs, we're gonna be using carpets. It's genius. I even made crafting recipes for the custom tan and indigo carpets for when I made that woolly cow video, which you should definitely go check that out. And with that, we have a total of 19 different chair blocks. I also made the chairs bouncy by borrowing some of the code for the Minecraft bed. So have fun with that information. Maybe you can make a bouncy castle out of it. Wait, this could actually work. Oh wait, I think I need to increase the bouncy physics. Okay, so I doubled the value, so when we start jumping, yay, we got a bouncy castle. Okay, wait, I think there's a bit too much bounciness. Bro, I am not bouncing anymore. I am just jumping. I'm not even touching my spacebar. Actually, wait, what happens if I increase the value more? So what does it look like now? Oh yeah, I'm keeping this in the mod. Okay, so I made a bunch of colored chairs that you can, bounce on, slightly. That's cool and all. But I feel like the chair itself isn't unique enough. So I came up with the next feature. Let me explain. So in Minecraft, we have a thing called a trap chest, where if a player opens a chest, it will send a redstone signal that will most likely be used to activate a trap. And I want to implement that with the chair block, or should I say the new trap chair block, where as long as you sit on the trap chair, it will send a redstone signal that will most likely be used to activate a trap. Now, implementing this was pretty simple. All I did was steal some of the code for the trap chest. But the one major thing that I gotta pay attention to is the redstone signal source, basically where that redstone signal is coming from. Because if I make the chair send a redstone signal directly at the chair instead of the block below the chair, which should make more sense, there's a chance that the player can tell it's a trap by briefly sitting on the chair, checking if there's any redstone components getting power next to the chair, and then escaping it before the trap fully activates by the chair. Huh, shouldn't I be killed by a falling anvil by now? Oh, that was close. So I need to make sure that when the player sits on the trap chair, the block directly below the chair is the redstone signal source, and the neighboring blocks of that bottom block should be powered from the signal source. Okay, so I modified some of the redstone code for the trap chair, and it's kinda there, we're kinda there, but the thing is, it's only powering the redstone lamp that is directly below the chair. We needed to also power the 3 neighboring lamps next to it. Okay, so I changed the code again, and it should... Okay, never mind. Dude, how hard is this redstone stuff supposed to be? Like, come on. And after a few more hours of testing... no. Oh, wait. It does. It actually work. It does actually work. Wait. Oh, wait. It actually works. It kind of works and... Wait, huh? What the... Huh? What? Excuse me? Bug fixing. I mean, it kind of works, but I need to get these 2 lamps over here to, like, not get turned on when we're sitting on the chair. Oh my gosh, what is going on now? What is this, bro? What is redstone all about? Are you kidding me? What is this? What? Oh no. And then all of crashing out. Look at the ones in the corner, bro. Why are they turned on? Like, this one right here is not even turned on. Why are the ones in the corner turned on? Why? Why are you turned on? What? Huh? What? This one is not turned on. Then how are you just magically turned on when this one is not turned on? What is this? Are you kidding me? I hate redstone so much. I managed to make some pretty good progress. Oh wait, guys, look. I finally fixed it. So if we place a block here, this one and this one should not be powered at all. So when we place it, yeah, they're not being powered. So when we go F5 again, so when we try to sit down, only the lamps below the chair is getting powered, while these ones horizontally adjacent to it is not being powered. Okay, so even though that we technically got the trap chair working, you can kind of see that the 3 neighboring lamps at the bottom has a sort of like delay. So right now, if we type in the command tick rate 1, the game should be running at 1/20th of a second, so it'll be like much slower now. So when we get off the chair, you can kind of see that the lamp below the chair gets powered off right there, and then the 3 neighboring lamps should be powered off at the same exact moment, but they have this sort of like delay to it. So I need to modify the code to kind of like speed it up to synchronize them. Okay, so I update the code again, and now... Okay, so you can kind of see that it works better now, but let's say if we go to... Let's say if we type in the command tick freeze, so now everywhere else, the game is now technically frozen. So if we, let's say if we try to hit the sheep here, it won't move until we type in the command tick step 1t, which means that we're moving forward 1/20th of a second. So when we enter the command here, you can kind of see that it kind of moves a bit like that when we keep pasting the command here. Kind of like that. So for our little chair here, if we sit on the trap chair, the lamps are getting powered, and then when we get off the chair, they're still technically powered because the game is frozen right now. But let's say if we pasting the command, the game technically should turn off all the 4 lamps below the chair. So if we enter the command here, let's just do it again. Sometimes Resto is a bit buggy in Java. Let's just do it again. Again. So the lamp directly below the chair is turned off, which is good, but the 3 other lamps are not turned off at the same time. And then when we paste the command again, only then they turn off. So I need to go update the code again to like make sure that they really synchronize. I don't want to have any sort of delay, because I'm pretty sure if I keep the delay on, there's gonna be some redstone genius posting a YouTube video about this. Okay, finally I got the chair fixed. So when we sit on the chair, it turns on the lamps, and then when we get off the chair, you can kind of see that it instantly turned off the lamps. So when we freeze the game right now, and when we sit on the chair, instantly the lamps get turned on. But when we get out of the chair and we move 1 game tick right here, so we move 1 game tick, we have moved 2 game ticks, we have moved 3 game ticks, and at the 4th game tick, theoretically all the 4 lamps below the chair should turn off. And when we enter the command, boom, it turns off. Now some of you might be wondering why exactly the moment that we sit on the chair, instantly all the 4 lamps get turned on. But the moment that we get out of the chair, you notice that the 4 lamps doesn't immediately turn off, and only after 4 game ticks will the lamps turn off. Well, I'm gonna explain it with this little contraption here. So right now the game is still frozen, so when I press this button here, you will see that instantly that when we press this button, this lamp over here gets turned on. And when we move to 20 game ticks, which is basically a second, meaning that the button that we just pressed will turn off and all the redstone dust will be powered off. So if we enter the command, you will see that the redstone dust is powered off, but the redstone lamp is still turned on. And then when we move to 1 game tick, so enter, that's 1 game tick, we move to 2 game ticks, we move to 3 game ticks, and then at the 4th game tick, only then will this redstone lamp that was instantly powered by the button that we pressed previously will be turned off. So what does this mean exactly? Well, it means 2 things. One is that basically this right here, this little delay that we have when we get off the chair is basically normal. It's a normal Minecraft feature. And the second thing is that, well, I'm basically a massive nerd. Oh, and I should probably tell you how you can craft a chair, because I kind of forgot to do that. Whoopsies. So what you're gonna need is 3 wood planks in the bottom row, and then a bunch of feathers in the middle row, and then some leather on the top row, and boom, you can get 3 chair blocks. And as for the trap chair, all you need is a regular chair and any sort of pressure plate like this, and you can make a trap chair. And yes, you can also craft the colored trap chairs by replacing the regular chair with their corresponding colored chair. And with that, I think we're pretty much done with the chair block itself. But if I want to actually make this a mod that people will want, I need to address the elephant in the room. You see, so far all we did is make a bunch of colored chairs and a bunch of electric chairs, but the real game design problem here is that they don't really give a reason for players to want to sit on a chair. Sure, it'd be nice to have chairs as a quality of life addition, but that's just it. You take the chairs away and you can still play the game normally as you always have. And the fact that we just added trap chairs into the mod, there's no way people will want to sit on a chair. And you're sure that this is not a death trap. So, what's the solution? I mean, I could just code a whole stamina system where it will force the players to sit on a chair every once in a while. Maybe I could just create a little system to tell players to sit on a chair. But that is just bad game design because we don't want players to feel forced to sit on a chair. We want to force the players to feel like they want to sit on a chair. I feel like we're making chair propaganda at this point. And that's when I got an idea. Okay, so let me ask you guys. Yes, you, the audience. Pay attention now. Jingle jingle. So let me ask you, what is the one important task that you normally do in real life every day while sitting down? No, it's not paying attention at school. No, it's not sitting in a vehicle. And no, it's not doom scrolling on TikTok. Lock in, bro. What is the one task that you normally do to survive every day in real life while sitting down? That one task is when you're eating a meal. Okay, I'm sorry that I have this whole thing up to just eating, but there is a point that I'm making. Essentially, the reason why we prefer sitting down when eating is because sitting down puts our body in a sort of relaxed mode to help digest our food better. And when you look at Minecraft, whenever a player eats something, it's always when they're standing up. I should also point out that when a player gets hungry, like really hungry, they can eat up to 3 pieces of steak or even 4 whole cooked chicken. So what is that in cheeseburger for my American audience? Over 25 cheeseburgers in this economy? My point is, it doesn't make sense to me that a player can just eat 4 whole chickens in one sitting, or 1 whole standing in Minecraft case. So I kinda want to tie my whole chair mod to improve eating in Minecraft. Now obviously I'm not going to overhaul Minecraft's hunger system, we don't have the budget for that. I already spent all my life savings on making YouTube videos, so if you enjoyed the video so far and you want to help support the channel, consider subscribing. But anyways, so I figured that if we cannot rework Minecraft's hunger system, what if instead we make it so that when you sit on a chair and when you eat any food item, you restore double the amount of hunger based on that food. So let's say for an example here, eating a steak while standing restores 8 hunger points, but eating a steak while sitting down on a chair restores 16 hunger points, or 8 of these meat icons. And to do this, we need to make the game listen to whenever we're eating while sitting on a chair. However, even though that we created a whole custom block, there's no way to make the chair actually detect when the player eats a food item while they're sitting on it, let alone detect what that exact food item is. Minecraft blocks are just not built like that. So we need to modify how players eat food items directly. Okay, so I modified the player's hunger management system, and I also wrote this little program thing here to send this little message to help with the demonstration. So right now I'm gonna eat a steak, and it should give me the original value of 8. And because we are standing, the new value is the same with the original one, and because we are taking in the new value, this means that we have restored 8 hunger points. But if we sit on a chair and we eat, let me just position the camera a bit. There we go, hi. And we eat the steak, you can see that the new value is now doubled to 16. And because we are taking in the new value, and the original one is mostly used as a reference, this means we have restored 16 hunger points. And this pretty much works for every food item. So when we eat a golden apple, it doubles. When we eat a carrot, it doubles. When we eat a sweet berry, it doubles. A melon, it doubles. We eat a poisonous potato, it doubles. When we eat a suspicious stew, it doubles. And with this feature, even though that it's not really necessary for players to sit on a chair, they can still benefit from it whenever they want to restore their hunger bars. Now, of course, there is still room to improve and expand the mod, like maybe making those royal chairs with that royal pattern, or improving the chair's crafting recipe, but I'm gonna leave that for the community to decide, aka my comment section. And as for the mod itself, I will release it at some point, depending on how well this video does. Oh, and before people say anything, no, I don't intend to sell the mod, and this video is not to serve as an advertisement for that mod. This whole video and the entire channel is essentially about making stuff that people will enjoy seeing as if they're added in the main Minecraft game, like rejected features, exclusive content, or even fresh new ideas. I'm just saying that if you could leave a like or support the channel in any way, I would really appreciate that. And finally, before I end the video, there is one last thing that I want to do, and that is to sit down, relax, and watch the sunset.